Hi there. Today I'll be examining the Super Cup UEFA that matched Chelsea against Bayern. So Chelsea presented in a system of play of four defenders, three midfielders, and three attackers, with a double defensive mid player side by side Lampard and Ramirez. And Bayern played with the same system of play, the 4-3-3, with four defenders, three midfielders, and three attackers. However, with just Toni Kroos as a single defensive midfielder. When we examine the first phase of attack from Chelsea, what happens that Mandzukic always divided between these two players. Let me just point it out. Cahill and David Luiz. Mandzukic always divided between the two of them, and when the ball came here, Mandzukic closed on David Luiz, and if the ball goes the other side, Muller went in, or on the contrary, if the ball comes here and Mandzukic closed on Cahill and the ball goes to David Luiz, it was Lam that abandoned the defense of Ramirez and went to defend the central backward player. However, when we examine the second stage of play of Chelsea always played with simple procedures. So the ball went to the sides to Churla or Hazard, and what happened is that Oscar went to pick it up, and Oscar went to pick up the ball, and as Toni Kroos pressured Oscar, Torres just gave a passing line. Immediately afterwards, the ball went to the other side, and here the Hazard or Churl played 1v1, while Torres, Oscar, and on the other side Churl tried to respond to a cross from this side. So this was the second phase of attack. So when we examine the first phase of attack of Bayern, what we see is that at least in the first 15 minutes, what happened is that when the ball went from the goalkeeper to the first defender, Torres tried to divide it, and if the ball goes to the goalkeeper, Torres went to pressure the Neuer again, and if the ball went to the other, central defender, it was Hazard that made the pressure between this passing line, closing this passing line, and when Kroos came to get the ball, Oscar was very near Toni Kroos, and Torres at this point defended these two passing lines, and Bayern at least in the first 15 minutes struggled to get through this type of defense from Chelsea. While on the second stage of play, when finally one of the central defenders managed to pass over Torres, and Torres was a little bit left over here, he would come with the ball, and Oscar never went to pressurize Boateng. He just stood near Toni Kroos, and what happens is that Rafinha always went forward, and Robin came a little closer. And here, Cole never pressurized Robin because it was very dangerous to leave Rafinha alone, and Hazard was placed here, and Hazard really didn't defend very well. Although I think this was probably meant it, so when Ramirez or Lampard gained the ball, Hazard could beat Rafinha by 10 meters, and the ball would immediately come here. Um, Whereas if every this side was all closed, what happened with Boateng, he would immediately kick the ball to the other side to Ribéry and leave Ribéry here on 1v1 against Ivanovic. Ivanovic, which, by the way, played very well this match. So let me just talk about the strategic change that Mourinho made on minute 15 and a minute 30. So on a minute 15, Churl changed here with Hazard side by side, but at this point, Bayern became attacking very well with Ribéry on the left and Hazard wasn't closing and helping Ivanovic very well. So at the minute 30, apparently Mourinho changed it again, and Churl helped very much Ivanovic defending Ribery. So at the minute 30, Bayern was all first half struggling to have a good ball possession. So what happened is that Guardiola just changed the defensive midfielder by the inner right midfield. So Lam came to play as a defensive midfielder and Toni Kroos as an inner right midfielder. So and they maintained the system of play of three midfielders here with one single defensive midfielder and the striker is Mandzukic on the front. So on the minute 55, what happened is that Guardiola made the first change. So Rafinha came out, and Lam, who started playing as a inner right midfielder and then as a defensive midfielder, went to his original position as a backward right player, and Javi Martinez went to play as a single defensive midfielder, and he was very near Toni Kroos at this point at Oscar. Toni Kroos kept as a right inner midfielder. So at the minute 70, Guardiola made the second substitution. So Müller comes out, and Toni Kroos goes to the other side of the triangle of the midfield, and Mario Götze entered to play near Lampard, and the triangle maintained, but this time with Martinez, Götze, and Kroos. And what I want to talk about is how Toni Kroos started playing as a single defensive midfielder, then played as a right inner midfielder, and ended playing as a left inner midfielder. So this is very interesting. So at this point, Guardiola maintained the 4-3-3 system of play with one single defensive midfield player. So minute 85, I think it was very important for the game because Ramirez was sent off, and what happens is that Schürrle comes out, and Obi Mikkel comes in and to play just here. Let me just tell. Okay, Obi Mikkel start playing here as a number 12 side by side with Lampard, and Hazard closing the left wing, Oscar closing the right wing, and Torres came a little bit down in the field. So minutes 95 already on the after the 90 minutes of play. So Guardiola made a substitution here. It was it didn't change the system of play. So Robben came out, Shaqiri came in to the right, and Shaqiri got the defensive of Cole. Cole that played also very very well. So Chelsea was winning at this point, and Guardiola had to do something. And because they were playing with only 10 players, and both the defense, the midline was playing very 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 low on the field. Um, First at the minute 97, Mourinho put Lukaku in for Torres, maybe to explore all this space left available in the field because, as I told, just Chelsea was very very low in the field, and Lukaku because he's very strong, he's very fast, strong pace. Mourinho just left Lukaku on the front, hoping for a goal, which didn't happen at this point. And a minute 105, I think probably Guardiola made one of the best moves. So he put he changed the system of play for a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2. He put Martinez playing as a striker with Mandzukic and Mario Götze and Toni Kroos alone. So at this point they were playing in a 4-4-2, and they all the offensive moves were based on this area. So as the ball came to Ribery tried a 1v1 and immediately crossed to Martinez, or in the other side Shaqiri would immediately with the left foot cross to Martinez and Mandzukic. What became a huge problem for Chelsea and for Mourinho's team. So Mourinho took a while to do something. He probably didn't want to spend much time defending with three defenders, but at some point he had to take I think it was Hazard out. Okay, he put Oscar on the left wing. He put Terry playing just beside Cahill as a third defender, and Lukaku closing the right wing. Lukaku was always a very bad position here, so Lukaku was here instead of being here. This was a problem. However, Terry just closed in a little bit on Martinez, and Martinez was no longer a problem. Anyway, it's just in the end, Martinez was responsible for scoring the goal, but I don't think it was Terry's fault anyway. So, just to finalize, what were the match key points in my point of view? So, the first key point I would like to highlight was the fast offensive transitions of Chelsea, conducted mainly by Schürrle on the right and Hazard, especially on the first 15 minutes of play. It was unbelievable how fast and how good on 1v1 situations they are. So the second thing I want to highlight here is something that Guardiola did in Barcelona, but I wasn't expecting him to do it so well in Bayern, but it really happened. So Toni Kroos, Lam, Mario Götze, and Müller, they all presented high mobility between between each other, and especially with the wingers. At first point with Robben on the right and Ribéry on the left, and later with Ribéry on the left and Shaqiri on the right. So especially Götze and Shaqiri were always changing positions, and at this point it presents a little bit of a problem to the defensive team. So another thing everyone would agree that it changed the entire game. It was Ramirez. Ramirez made a terrible play and he was sent off, which forced Mourinho to put his team a little bit lower in the field and change the system of play to a 4-4-1. So finally, the last thing I wanted to point out was the strategic change conducted by Guardiola when he was playing with a triangle in the midfield with Martinez, Götze, and Toni Kroos, and he just puts suddenly Martinez on the front and start playing with Mario Götze and Toni Kroos, and as I said earlier, in a 4-2-2 situation, and unbelievably it was Martinez who scored the goal as a striker. So 40 minutes are done. If you want to check out my videos, just go on my website. You can follow us more closely on Facebook, or else just send me an email. Okay, my name is Luis Villar, and I wish you a good evening. See you.